Okay, so this is a bit of a follow-up to my first video where I showed how to disassemble and Loctite the shafts on these Sunnysky 1106 motors to eliminate the bell or shaft slipping issue. It seems that despite the incredibly amateur filming quality, some of you guys actually found that informative. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to now show you how to tell the difference between these original version motors and the newer updated version which Sunnysky has recently released. They haven't so much released it, basically they've updated the design and they've implemented a design concept that I created a few months ago. But what they haven't done, they haven't in any way changed the naming of the motors or the packaging or anything. So at the moment it's a little bit of a gamble as to which motors you may get. I have confirmed reports of people here in the UK getting the new design through Banggood. It's taken a couple of months for them to filter through. I've also heard confirmed reports from guys in the States buying them through Banggood and getting the new style. But I have also heard of one case where somebody bought, I think he bought 3 of the motors. They came through with the new shaft design. He then thought, awesome, bought another 4 of the motors, and 2 of them came with the new shaft and 2 of them came with the old shaft. So a little bit of a gamble, but what I'm going to do right now is tell you how to tell the difference between the motors. So what you got to look for is at the very top of the shaft. So let me just focus this camera. There we go. So you'll see around the base of the shaft here, this is an original version motor. There's actually a recess. I can get this scalpel blade to sit in there. That recess is a side effect of the fact that the shaft doesn't protrude all the way through the bell, and they are axially press fit together. Now if I grab one of these other motors, this is a brand new Sunnysky motor that I've got as a spare. Let's try and get this to focus. It's not bad. You can now see at the top here that there is no recess. What you've got there is actually a step of steel shaft material. So what I'll do is I'll put up a picture on the screen of the concept that I created in CAD and posted onto a motor manufacturer's Facebook page. So now you sort of know what you're looking at. What we have here is the 1.5mm machine shaft. It then steps out to a diameter of 3mm, goes down for what I would assume is probably about 0.5 millimeter, maybe more. I haven't pulled one of these apart to confirm. And then it steps back to the 2mm main shaft diameter to pass through the bearings and the rest of the stator. So what that does is that actually creates a physical stop for this bell. There is absolutely no way that that bell can now slide apart from the stator unless you remove the E-clip on the bottom. So with that step, everything below the step and above the E-clip is held at a specific set distance. This is awesome because that means that there is no way you can push your tight props on as hard as you want and that shaft isn't going to disappear down through the bell, or you can get into the throttle as hard as you want when flying and there is no way that that bell is going to come off of the shaft mid-flight. It's amazing, like the amount of weight off your mind that it takes when you put these motors on your quadcopter and just simply don't have to worry about shaft slip. Basically what made me want to design these is I could not believe that shaft slip was so commonly accepted with smaller motors. I originally had some real ACC motors on my Nemesis X. I hit a tree and 2 of the rear motors ejected the bells. Took hours to find them, and those real ACC motors were absolutely horrible. So that's what led me to create the concepts. I then placed those onto a T-Motor Facebook post and just said, look, this is what we're dealing with, we shouldn't have to deal with it anymore. Here's some concepts, I should probably get paid for the design, seeing that I am an industrial designer. But basically I just want to be able to buy decent motors that I can rely on. Both Team Motor and Brother Hobby contacted me, and surprisingly neither have actually created or updated their motor designs with the shaft. And it wasn't until I went to try and get replacements for my Sunnysky motors, the two that exploded mid-flight, and I lost bearings and shafts, and I even lost the bell of one of them, that Sunnysky told me, oh, actually we've fixed that already. And so I queried as to how they'd fixed that and sent them a picture of the concept, and they said yes, that's exactly what we did. They had seen the Facebook post and they just got straight on it and updated their motors. So now what you have is their 1106 motors in particular are possibly one of the most reliable micro motors that you can buy, and quite possibly one of the probably the most powerful. So yeah, awesome little motor. If you have bought any recently, and by recently I mean from the middle of December onwards, double check this. Have a look at that shaft detail. So I'll get you another close up. If you have that step instead of the recess, then you have the new design. There's absolutely no need to pull it apart, no need to glue it. It's never going to come apart on its own. You can just put that on, don't have to worry about it, go out and fly. Only way you're going to have these motors damaged is if you hit something hard enough to bend something, and they're pretty durable. If you happen to be looking for a good quality, awesome frame to put them on, then I would highly recommend that you check out the BRDM Quads or Boredom Quads Nemesis X. So this is a frame that I've designed, and I've designed this specifically to take advantage of perfect balance. So when you put a battery up the top here, the center of gravity is going to be perfectly centralized within the quadcopter and also exactly on the prop line. So what this does is it reduces the amount of input that's required from the FC for corrections. There's a lot less computing processing happening when it tries to correct the way the quadcopter's flying. Also, the balance means that the quadcopter responds exactly the way the FC expects it to. It's a lot more, it's a lot more efficient. So yeah, Tro-X, perfectly balanced. If you are looking for a premium little micro frame, head to www.brdmquads.com and check it out. Cool. Happy flying.